motoring out into some of the most shark-infested waters in the world, along Australia's Gold Coast. This net will catch a shark.
That net will catch sharks, yes.
Where the government feels compelled to set up these giant shark nets unsettlingly close to popular beaches.
It is amazing that you've got sharks this close to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
We're in shark country here.
Yeah. Oh, my word. And they'll go right in close to the beach at times.
Swimmers are being warned.
A shark so big it bit another 10-foot-long great white nearly in half.
Measuring more than 5 meters.
Recently, right near here, a discovery that made news around the world. This dead great white shark was fished out of the water with a huge, hideously clean bite taken right out of it. The experts measured the wounds and concluded that they were inflicted by the jaws of another, much bigger great white, possibly 15 feet long.
So that told you that there is a much larger shark out there.
Oh, yes, yes. And we well believe that too, because where there's small sharks, there's always big sharks.
I didn't even know that sharks ate other sharks.
They do, particularly the great white.
Is a shark like this a danger to bathers?
Most definitely. In their brain, it's food.
The existence of a so-called monster shark made headlines, but it didn't seem to scare the locals that much. The beaches here are still crowded, even in areas where swimming is off limits, and the surfers are totally undaunted.
I'd rather die doing something that I love
than live in fear.
While the huge shark lurking off the coast may not be causing panic, it is causing controversy.
And there's a lot of pull on here at the moment because of the tide.
Remember those shark nets? They are only used in 2 countries, Australia and South Africa. And they not only deter sharks...
There has been a dramatic rescue of another whale caught in a shark net off the Gold Coast.
But they're also snagging dolphins, sea turtles, manatees, and humpback whales.
Conservationists often complain about the nets and say that whales and dolphins are being caught up there and that it's just not worth it.
The government's response to that is that we place the lives of our swimmers first and foremost.
But conservationists point out that sharks, despite their fierce reputation, are almost always harmless. Statistics show you have a greater chance of getting hit by lightning or winning the lottery than you do of getting bitten by a shark.
If you look at those pictures, it's a very impressive bite.
Yeah, it's a very impressive bite. Would do a lot of damage, yeah.
It does create fear. I mean, you look at that picture, you think, I don't want to go in the water.
Yes, and I understand that. But if you then start equating the fear factor with reality, you realize that the fear is unfounded. You know, the chances of being bitten, either in Australia or elsewhere in the world, are minuscule.
True, a great white shark has the perfect set of jaws to cut you.
And when it closes its mouth, it's like 2 steak knives crossing each other.
However, almost every other type of shark does not have teeth that are designed to eat large chunks of flesh. And anyway, they're usually too scared of us to attack. I am talked into testing this theory by doing something supremely counterintuitive, diving into this tank filled with sharks. First, some basic instructions for the dive.
What's the hand signal if a shark is eating my arm off?
Shark on my arm. Something wrong with a shark on my arm.
Then, like a wet-suited lamb to the slaughter,
Tell my wife I love her.
my instructor guides me into the larger tank, and there, feet away, is an enormous, toothy shark wearing a blankly menacing look on its face. It's a good thing abject terror cannot register on your face while you're in goggles. It's also good that these gray nurse sharks don't eat humans and pretty much ignored me. Shark experts wish more people would learn this lesson, although not necessarily by jumping into a shark tank. Sharks, they say, get a bad rap. And they blame Jaws. After Jaws came out in the 70s, it not only provoked widespread and lasting public fear and loathing of sharks, but it also dried up research funding to better understand these animals, all of which created an environment where sharks are now being hunted nearly out of existence.
Globally, there's only 10% of the sharks left that we had 50 years ago. Where have they gone? Well, we've eaten them.
Eaten them in shark fin soup, a delicacy in Asia and even here in the U.S. A staggering 100 million sharks a year are caught for this food. That's 270,000 sharks a day. They are killed in a barbaric fashion called finning, where fishermen drag them onto a boat, cut off their fin, and then throw them right back in the water to drown. Even as shark populations drop all over the world, there is not much of a public outcry. It's hard to build a constituency for an animal when the argument is that they usually won't kill you.
Many people think of sharks as a nuisance and a threat. So, as they said in Jaws, the only good shark is a dead shark.
Dead one.
Why should we care if they get wiped out?
Because if we want a healthy ecosystem, we have to maintain a balance, and sharks are a critically important part of that balance.
Also, they are beautiful, magnificent animals.
Without a doubt. If you think about it, they've been pretty much the same form as what they are now for millions of years, long before we started walking the earth. So, you know, they've evolved into the perfect predator. They slipstream beautifully through the water, so yeah, they're beautiful.
An apex predator that has survived since the age of the dinosaurs, but may not survive the age of the humans. For all the bad publicity they get, the truth is that sharks should be more afraid of us than we are of them. For Nightline, this is Dan Harris in Australia.